Good morning, Fly on the Wall Productions, bringing you the Aired Out podcast on Facebook and YouTube Live and streamed everywhere you get your podcasts on the web at airedoutVT.com. The 6th of October.
It is.
Good morning, Raylene.
Good morning.
How in the hell are you?
Wonderful.
I want to say,
it's Friday.
It is, and you know that I love to begin Fridays with Lily's line of the week. Says to me in the car this morning, Dad, if we were in a race, I would be the rabbit and you would be the turtle.
Absolutely. She's not wrong. You have to admit that.
That hurt a little bit, you know. I mean, really, a turtle?
Yes.
Be, like a turtle on steroids or something?
You mean a tortoise?
Turtle? A tortoise? Is there a fast turtle?
No. I don't think so. They can move fast, actually, if they want to. But
I have to say this morning, shame on me for forgetting yesterday that it was World Teachers Day. And I got some flack last night.
Why? We posted it. I didn't forget.
That it was World Teachers Day?
Yes.
I didn't say it on the air, though.
Oh. Okay.
So I just want to begin this morning with an apology. And, I mean, I think most people know that I think that teachers, most of them anyway, walk on water.
That's right. We're
screwed without them. What the hell would we do without a good teacher?
Right. We always say good things about teachers.
Man.
Yeah.
What's Roger Hill saying today? We got a cloudy start, some rain showers. This is the beginning of the remnants of Philippe.
Yeah, and it's all coming in this weekend. And the cold front has moved in, and it's going to get chillier, windier, and rain. Lots of rain developing after midnight tonight.
Oh, is that what they're
Going
saying?
All through the day tomorrow. Yeah.
Last night, I was stacking firewood, bringing it.
Still?
I'm
my
done.
God.
I'm done. I finished it, Raylene.
I hope so. It's a quart of frickin' wood.
Yeah, but I'm
Turtle.
I'm old. I'm slow. Orthopedically, there are some issues. I don't move very fast.
You have issues, all right, love.
It took me a long time, but it's all in the barn. It's all stacked up, and it's done. I'm ready for the rain. And you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm dead serious. I'm not kidding. Tonight I'm going to go out in the barn. I'm going to
sit in a lawn chair and stare at the wood pile.
Yes. But you're missing. But I'm going to be drinking a Shipyard pumpkin head.
Oh.
In my lawn chair, and I'm going to just sit there, listen to the rain on the metal roof, and just sit there and stare at all my stacked firewood.
Okay.
Absolutely.
May get chilly enough to start a little fire in the stove to take the chill off. You can open the door and watch it burn.
I might do that.
Yeah.
At some point this morning, I hope to get to the birthdays.
Out of the gate, we should say that the Vermont State Police are actively searching for a man at large who has presumably murdered a woman in Castleton.
Unbelievable.
The woman was found dead on the rail trail, and witnesses report gunshots. They are searching currently for a white man, 5'10", short dark hair, wearing a gray T-shirt and carrying a black backpack.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't really narrow it down very well for us,
That's
but
it.
that's a bit frightening.
Super small community. I went to college at Castleton. Everybody knows everyone. That's some scary shit right there.
It is some scary shit right
Big
there.
time. Big time.
So,
we're going to be chatting with Bobby Bartlett here in a little bit. He's our State Farm is one of our newest presenting sponsors, and wait until you hear what he has to say.
Yeah, it's currently the Pumpkin Man.
He has the pumpkins for the kids. No, no purchase necessary. You don't even have to get a quote or anything. Just bring a kid. You one pumpkin per kid, and he's got them all lined up, and they're ready to be handed out. What else is going on in Vermont headlines this morning?
Oh, gosh, all kinds of things. So, well, we know that there's all kinds of things going on. I don't know that there's all of that much as far as headlines go. That was the biggest.
The Castleton is the big one.
Castleton was the big one. Also, federal funding has come out for dairy farmers, and they're trying to help boost and maintain the dairy farms that we have left here.
Yes.
We've talked about that before. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago when you went to my son's farm, how they have dwindled, and when you first started in radio, how many they were compared to now.
That's right.
So there has been some funding that has come out and trying to keep them alive here in Vermont, and it's going to take a lot of work. The new parking ride in Williston is finally open to the public. It's been a couple of years in the making, which is insane to me. That it has taken that long, but it has.
We have a couple of teenage boys arrested for bringing a stolen gun onto school property in Fairhaven. Jesus. Wow.
Yeah.
What else is happening? For news headlines, I'm just glancing here too.
Right,
I'm not seeing a whole hell of a lot.
No, there's really not. There wasn't. Thankfully, I mean, there's just not a lot of earth-shattering things. There's always the political side of it all, but I'm choosing to just ignore all of that because it's just crazy stuff that will
nauseating.
Make your head hurt. And cause you to have a shitty weekend. So. We'll just pretend it doesn't exist.
I want to say this
today.
I want to say that you and Joe Edson, Chris Massey, you all of you can kiss my ass because
what the hell?
I'll tell you why. Because the Bears won last night, 40-20. That's why.
Well, but not by the landslide you were predicting.
Did I add Logan Luce to the ass-kissing list? Because he was laughing.
I don't think you did.
He was laughing at me yesterday.
Well, because your spread was pretty gigantic.
What did I say, 35? I said 35
to 5 or
to
7
5
or something like that.
For the Bears over the Commanders.
Yeah.
And it was 40-20. But Bears got their first win of the NFL season last night.
Well, good for them.
You should listen to me more, Raylene, when it comes to
my dead body.
When it comes to predictions for the NFL. Anyway, I want to chat with Bobby here. We're going to call him right now over at State Farm. This guy has already saved me just in a matter of a couple of weeks. Has saved me some money. Good morning, pal. How are you?
Hey, JD. How you doing?
Bobby, we're well, man. How are you?
Good. I am surrounded by pumpkins and smiling children's faces over here.
Woo-hoo!
I mean, it's amazing.
Woo! We love it. How's the Halloween tree over there? How is that getting a lot of chatter?
Absolutely. At first, folks are like, "That's a Christmas tree." Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Take a look. There's spiders all over it. There's skulls. There's a skeleton guarding it. So we're having a blast.
I can't wait for Lily and I are coming over there today for sure. Possibly Sherilyn later. But
awesome.
It's wonderful that you do. So you go to Peck Farm and you buy how many pumpkins?
It usually ranges between 100 to 125.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing? You make the kids happy. They get a pumpkin. They can. I think that's wonderful, man. Thank you for doing that, for being such a great community partner. Bobby, I have been telling people on the air, I've been telling Raylene that you've saved me some money right out of the pocket here, and you have helped me understand. You basically gave me a free course in insurance at no charge. I got to sit and learn stuff from you, and you dumbed it way down for me, and I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, and I think you probably just lost about 10 listeners saying that because, that's the worst possible thing to say. But no, it's true. That's our whole goal. Like, we want to get folks in that are genuinely concerned about their coverages. And of course, they want to save a little bit of money, right? Like everybody does right now. So our goal is to sit down with you, spend as much time as possible, and make sure that we go through it. We compare. We go apples to apples, but typically it's usually apples to oranges because we find things that need attention. You have a gap, you have a problem, and then we educate. We want to make sure that you are understanding your coverages, so if something happens, you know how to react to it. Why would you spend your hard-earned money paying for a policy you have no idea about?
Right. You took a look at my my policies right away, and what is like the state minimum for insurance just to be legal is what? Tell everyone what you said to me about that.
Yeah, so it varies based on the state, but for the state of Vermont, the state minimum for bodily injury liability is $25,000 per person and $50,000 for the entire accident. So, how we break this down? Let's say you're driving down Main Street, right? You're cruising along, you're listening to, Steely Dan, whatever else you're listening to, right? You're enjoying yourself a cup of coffee. You look down really quickly to change the station. Someone slams their brakes on in front of you, and you just plow into them, right? So that person that you hit is hurt and needs some medical attention, has to go to the doctor or the hospital, and is going to miss some work, right? So what that bodily injury liability means for $25,000 is that's the limit of liability on your policy. That's the most your insurance company will pay that person for their injuries. So I'll give the same example I gave you, JD. What if that person is hurt and has $300,000 of medical bills and missed work due to your accident?
That's going to be chewed up in seconds.
Absolutely. So you're going to have a shortfall of $275,000. Where is that money coming from?
Yeah, your wages could be attached, your home, your property, your car. Things could be you could lose everything.
On the flip side, that state minimum for Vermont also applies to property damage liability. So that means getting that vehicle that you hit fixed as well. So the minimum for Vermont is $10,000. Can you replace a car on the road with $10,000 these days? Anything, right?
Wow.
If you hit them. So same situation. If you hit a brand new F-150, what's that going to cost you if you only have $10,000 in coverage for that limit of liability?
This is alarming. You took a look at my policy, and and we'll say transparently right here, I had Progressive. I ended up with. Tell everyone what I had and what I've got now.
Yeah. So actually, JD, you were not at state minimum. You actually were in a decent shape where typically we recommend folks start at, right? So you had $100,000 per person for the bodily injury liability. You had $300,000 for the accident and $100,000 for property damage. So honestly, not horrible, right?
Yeah.
We started discussing liability. And it was uncovered, JD, that you were a little bit worried about liability.
Yeah.
And making sure that your assets are protected, that your house is protected, that your wages are protected. And that's my job, right? Our job here is to protect our assets.
Right.
So when we uncovered that, we introduced increasing those limits for your bodily injury and property damage, and also writing an umbrella policy. So layman's terms is you had $100,000 per person and $300,000 for the entire accident and bodily injury liability. Now, after the umbrella policy, you have $1.25 million per person, and you have $1.5 for the entire accident and liability now.
That's what I have right now.
That's what you have.
Do you hear that,
now.
Raylene? That's incredible.
It is incredible.
So, and I'll tell you, there's never enough liability in this world to protect you, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you have now built a very tall wall that is hard for a normal accident, unless you are just, driving crazy, which
Sure.
I'll know that in 6 months from you. But
Yep.
it's
We have to
important.
talk about that also, but go ahead.
Yeah. But honestly, that's the whole thing, right? I can never predict the future, but I'm worst case scenario guy. So now, if you hit that person and there's a $300,000, charge against you, or 275 shortfall, your umbrella policy kicks in, and guess what? Your umbrella policy also goes over your home liability. So, if something happens where you're civilly sued outside of your home or even on premise of your home, someone walking down the road stumbles and falls off of a hole in your front lawn, and decides to sue you or gets hurt. That $1 million kicks over your liability on your home as well. So JD, your liability is under wraps at this point.
It's such a great feeling. You told me the most important thing for people to know, whether they're with State Farm or anywhere else, is to know their coverages, know what their liabilities are. Most of us don't even know what our deductibles are. But
Yeah.
what's so important is we're walking around not even knowing. We just think, I have insurance, I'm good, I'm covered. But so many of us don't even know what our coverages are. That's what's nice about you guys. You come in there, there's no pressure. You sit down, you show State Farm what you've got. It doesn't have to be just Bobby. It can be Nicole, anyone over there. Show them what you got, and they're gonna try to see if they can do better. And if you can't, you're gonna say you can't.
Yeah. We don't sugarcoat anything. Honestly, if you have great coverages and we are more expensive than you were paying, we're gonna tell you. And that's why the first thing I told you, JD, was, you know what? I'm sponsoring Air It Out. There is no obligation for you to do this.
Right.
JD's like, nope, no, I haven't taken a look at any of this in a while. I don't even know if my home is properly covered.
Sure.
I want you to take a look at it. Let me know what you see. And what we saw was what we uncovered. Your home was not properly insured for the value. You had low liability limits. You were worried about your liability and your asset protection. We even looked at your life insurance. And what did I tell you about that?
Oh, you told me an awful lot about that.
Yeah. So the biggest thing with that was, honestly, you didn't have a bad plan. I told you to keep your personal life insurance where it's at.
Yes.
I gave you some options, to protect the family. But you know what? It didn't make sense to switch your life insurance over. And you know what? I'll tell you that. I would rather you be in a better position.
And you did.
And then to make the choice to bring it over just to support me for supporting you.
Just last month, the Consumer Price Index came out with the news that car insurance has increased 19% over the last year. That's the biggest annual increase since 1976. Why and what the hell is going on here?
Well, a lot, right? So a lot of folks are seeing an increase, and they're seeing an increase at the grocery store, in their utilities, in many different ways. And insurance is another one of those things that is impacted by inflation, right? So accidents are costing more. Vehicles are costing more to fix. Labor prices are increased. Rental cars are, their coverages are being maxed because of the wait at body shops. I don't know if anybody's tried to get into a body shop lately.
Right.
But it's, they're backed up. They're waiting on parts. Things are slow. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of catastrophes in the country. And it's all playing into this crazy market, right, for insurance, where insurance companies are having to take increases to keep reserve funds for claims.
Right.
How insurance works is it bundles everybody together. Like, people in Vermont are all bundled together, right, to give everybody the best rate. And if that reserve money starts getting eaten away, then rate increases are what bring that reserve money back in. So the biggest thing I hear a lot of, hey, why did my rate go up a bit? I didn't have any accidents. Well, you didn't, but you're bundled with folks that might have.
Right.
And, they're kind of spreading that risk out. Now, that can be frustrating, but the rate increase is to make sure there's enough money. So if you get in an accident later time, there's enough money to cover your accident. And so that's how insurance works. And it's really crazy right now. There are insurance carriers pulling out of Vermont. There are insurance carriers that are not running any new business the rest of the year. That is not State Farm. We have been around for 100 years. We're going nowhere. But I can tell you things are different than they were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Things are a little bit more conservative and stringent. So I am glad to walk everybody through that, make sure they're aware of how things work. State Farm has taken some small increases to keep up as well. This is as well as some of the other carriers. A lot of other carriers are taking a lot more because they don't have the overhead. State Farm is the number one auto and home insurer in the entire country,
including my homeowners insurance, which was right here in Vermont, which is now with you. But you gave me a warning that they're going to be going up. What was the percentage?
It was 22 or 24%, if I remember right on that one. Yeah. So
damn.
There was an announcement that your home carrier was going to be taking an average increase of 24%, right?
I didn't even know this was coming. It's not like they're calling you saying, we want to give you a heads up, we're going up 24%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But all that information has to be approved by the state of Vermont, so it's all public knowledge. So when it goes out, every insurance carrier knows what's happening with each other, So just so happened that came out as you had brought your declaration page across my desk. So I wanted to make sure you were aware of that.
And I was just getting ready to renew for the year. So I'm glad I had the time to sit down with you and Nicole and chew this out. And, and that's homeowners. And of course we're going to get to that at some point. But in the meanwhile, we encourage folks to call you directly, 479-3353. State Farm. Everyone knows where you are, right across from Amashon on Route 14. And even if you don't have an appointment, just pop in there and say, hey, let's schedule some time to sit down and do something here, just to review things.
Yeah. So you can even text that number, that 802-479-3353. Text it. It goes right to a program we have. We can communicate via text. You don't even have to even really call us. A lot of people don't like picking up the phone. Give us a text. We'll reach out to you.
Bobby, I'm going to be over soon. You and I are going to sit down, and we're probably going to go live from your office and talk about homeowners next. It's coming soon.
Got it. Hey, I appreciate you both. Thank you so much for the support.
Have a great day.
And have a great day, buddy. We appreciate you. And in the meantime, again, get the kids over for the Great Pumpkin giveaway. Bobby Bartlett, State Farm, right here in Central Vermont. Thanks, pal.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, look at that. Lily's going to be over there getting her pumpkin today.
And speaking of the Great Pumpkin, tonight at 7 o'clock at Carpenter Field in Washington, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. 7 o'clock. Bring your chairs, bring a blanket, bring some snacks, and enjoy the movie before the rain comes.
Yeah, and you said the rain's coming late.
Yes.
So
Roger says it'll be after midnight before it gets to this area.
All right.
So you'll have plenty of time to get that movie in. You may be a little chilly, so, dress warm but enjoy it. Have fun. And that's tonight, 7 o'clock, Carpenter Field.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Do we have anything? The community calendar, obviously brought to you by the World newspaper. Yeah. We have the Barrytown Fall Fest coming up on the 14th. Mm-hmm. Going to be big. Mm-hmm. Yesterday we had Heartless. We had Jasmine White, the tribute to Ann Wilson, which is tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. I kept saying it was Friday, but it's Saturday night over at the High Ground. It's going to be amazing. The ticket links are all over our page if you want to go. They may have a few tickets left. This thing may sell out too. Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Grape Harvest Weekend at Netto Farm in Barrie. So that's happening right up there on Netto Road.
I'm going.
That's Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4.
Yep.
It's the 3rd annual Taste of Montpelier Food Festival this weekend. It starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. And then Sunday at the Canadian Club is the first craft fair of the season, of, this holiday season, they call it. It's called the Harvest Festival, and that starts on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. at the Canadian Club. And that's actually
Sunday.
a really good, yes. I always love to go to that craft fair. That's a good one.
9 a.m. Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Not Saturday and Sunday, just Sunday.
Just Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's posted on the page with all of the other events that are occurring this weekend. I didn't post a lot of the ones that are out. I'll do those again starting Monday, but I try not to get too confusing.
There's so much going on in central Vermont, and you're the catch net of so much of it, and you're trying to just get it streamlined and organized for people.
Well, and we're lucky that people have learned that too. So a lot of people will message and say, can you post this or can you post that? I have this happening or that happening. And so, that's a lot of times we get the posters before others do even.
Yeah, right.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But just concentrating on this weekend as far as the page goes today so that you're not getting all confused. And then on Monday, I'll resume posting it all again.
I have to say, Friday the 27th, the trunk or treat at Preston's Kia is going to be so awesome.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm actually really excited to go. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sherilyn and Lily are coming, and wait until you see my Halloween suit.
I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not. I'm just not.
You're just not going to.
You may end up in one of the trunks with the door closed. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, God. It's going to be amazing.
I'm not looking forward to this. Like I'm actually a little frightened, to tell you the truth.
PTSD. I'm telling you, it's gonna
I'm
give
sure
it
it will.
We have game night at Delicate Decadence with the Central Vermont Family and Friends United. That is Thursday the 12th. Speaking of which, they are throwing a huge Halloween dance on the 28th, Saturday the 28th, from 6 until 9 over at the Capital City Grange, right there in Berlin. So that's going to be fun.
It's last call for the ladies' ride. So as we know, the ladies' ride always took place. They do things a little differently than some of the others where they give the tally that very day. They often have donations that are still coming in.
Yep.
But
which has been the case, right?
Yes, it has been the case. And because they had a goal, they wanted to make their final goal so that the 10-year total was 100,000. They are super, super close. So it's last call if you want to get those donations in. They still have some of the swag, the T-shirts, koozies, stickers, patches, different things like that from this year's event as well as years past, a few here and there. So if you would like to purchase any of those, you just contact Sue Walker or Lisa Crowningshield, or go right to the annual Ladies Ride Facebook page and message through that. But just reach out to the girls. And please, if you have any silent auction items that you bid on and won, go pick them up, please.
Yeah.
That would be awesome so that the girls aren't having to hang on to those.
Yeah. Good morning, Chris and Mary and John.
And Glenn.
And Glenn, of course.
Joe Edson, who's giving you a hard time. Just telling you right now.
Joe,
you know, mess with him.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, the Paramount Twin Cinema right here in Barrie.
Yeah.
This is going to be a stellar weekend to get indoors and catch a movie. It's going to be raining. It's going to be shitty. Get the kids, get in the car, go to the Paramount Twin Cinema in Barrie. They're open 7 days a week. They've got matinees tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. The Taylor Swift Eras Tour is premiering on Friday, October 13th, and we will be there broadcasting live starting at 5 o'clock. The movie is going to be playing at 6 p.m. We'll be there at 5 for the premiere. We're very excited. We'll be set right up out on North Main Street in Barrie. Advanced ticket sales for that, and you might want to consider this because it's going to be packed. FGBtheaters.com. FGBtheaters.com. You can get tickets for all show times through November 5th on that website. If you want to see the creator, you can see that this weekend. Paw Patrol, the Mighty movie, that's also playing. But if you want advance tickets for that Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie on Friday, October 13th for the premiere, get them now, FGBtheaters.com. That movie, which is not even out yet, has already pulled in $100 million globally in advance ticket sales already. $100 million, Raylene.
Not surprised.
And it's a concert. You're going to be sitting there enjoying a concert, reclining in your chair. You got the Dolby Digital Surround Sound. You got the popcorn with Capit butter. You can have a beer. You can have a glass of wine.
It's not raining. There's probably nobody screaming right behind you or jumping up and down or any of that stuff.
Exactly. That's a great point. So
you just can really, and nobody talking right next to you.
Right.
That, that pisses me off. When I go to, I know that, and this is terrible. This is mean. I know. I understand. We all go down to the park to see the concert in the park, but we go to be with our community. Just, if you're going to stand there and yak for 20 minutes, go on the outer edge and yak. Because when you're standing right in front of somebody having a conversation at the top of your lungs because you're trying to talk over the music, I can't hear the music. And it's rude to the person that has come to give their time.
Here's the translation to all of this.
JD does it. He does it. And I get pissed at him. And I tell him, shut up.
Here's the translation to all this. What Raylene is trying to say right now is JD, why did you have to talk to George so loud during the concert?
For 20 minutes.
For 20 minutes, you and George. Haven't seen George in a long time.
And the 10 other people that came along. So get your ass on the side. Get away from the stage. We were sitting right in front of the stage. It drives me crazy, but you weren't the only one doing it. Lots of people do it.
Yeah.
And they stand like right in front of you or right behind you.
Sure.
And I understand you're like, oh, you haven't seen somebody in a long time, and it's your neighbors, and it's supposed to be a community event. Yep. But the concert's in the front, party's in the back.
Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. Can you just, we're going to shift gears here. Can you just tell everyone how amazing Enough Ministries has been through this whole flood thing?
There's no way to define it.
Even before the flood.
Even before the flood, and then during the flood, and their continued efforts. They have a lot going on that they never speak about. They've, as a whole, with other churches, are rallying. They have a goal to get people back in homes, refurbish homes, sheetrock homes. They feed people. You cannot say enough about Enough Ministries and what they bring to the community. And they, quite frankly, don't get even an eighth of the credit that they deserve.
Absolutely agree.
But they don't ask for it either.
They don't ask for it.
And they just do it truly out of the goodness of their heart, not because me. They just don't. And I love them.
Barrie City Council, and I'm not taking a swing here. I'm just being I'm being very honest. Barry City Council should be talking about Enough Ministries and thanking them every single time they have a council meeting. And furthermore, WCAX and PTZ and 2244, they should be over there every week with a camera showing everyone what Enough Ministries is doing.
I appreciate them greatly.
Dan, are you with us?
I am.
Dan Moland is he is the pastor in chief over there, over at Enough Ministries. Buddy, when we saw you in the parade for the Heritage Festival, it takes my breath away to see you guys, because as I was yelling to you, man, this city loves you guys so much. I hope you have an idea.
I'm very humbled by everything that you had to say. I'm not sure it's all true, but
it is very true,
it's true,
Dan. It's true.
I'm grateful for you guys. It was great at the parade, though. I do think there are a number of people in the area that know and appreciate the kinds of things that we do, and just as you're driving down, for everybody to be, thank you and hi, and, to know you, I think is good. And I'm grateful that we're able to serve the community in as many ways as we can.
And JD called you the pastor, and what did you just say?
Pastor in chief.
Enough, but
Yes.
What he didn't say was we should say at large, because you don't do this only in your own church here
Right.
at Enough.
That's
you
right.
are literally everywhere and heavily involved in efforts all over the state.
Yeah. Well, we truly believe in cooperation.
Mhm.
And so those other churches, other nonprofits, and, even other businesses that, we have a mutual interest in, helping and supporting the community. We want to do that. And so we're excited to be able to partner with them. I think it's interesting that you've got that new gentleman that's going to be talking about auto insurance today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Bobby Bartlett.
We're doing fire insurance. He's doing auto insurance. It's an insurance kind of a day.
Yeah. Yes, it always is. Dan, tell us. We know that Chris Autry is coming up from down south and bringing a mission team. You've had many mission teams that have been at your side right after the flood. You guys were putting out at one point 1,000 meals a day. Your team down in the kitchen, all of the volunteers, Tom and Pat and Vicky and just everyone. Josh Fortier, your right hand man, the associate pastor there. Schumacher. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, what you guys have done is you have literally moved mountains, and you have been the backbone to Barry. You've turned your whole church into a collection distribution center for clothing, for medical equipment, for toiletries. I mean, when you see a church take their sanctuary.
Well, in ministry too. I mean, they were comforting people and giving.
Yes. But lining up all the clothing, all the pews and everything, organizing everything out. I mean, working ungodly hours around the clock, everyone volunteering. Dan, it's amazing what you've done.
Yeah, it was, it was an honor, I think, to in the very early days of the flood, the deputy fire chief called us up. I think it was like 6 o'clock in the morning and said, "Hey, I need some help. I've got 300 people up here at the auditorium that had to be evacuated from their homes, and I don't have any food for them. Can you make breakfast? And we had breakfast for like 300 by 9 o'clock in 3 hours from zero notice.
Mm-hmm.
And continued from there. And, I was very excited to see the help that we were able to get from the faith community, really from
Mm-hmm.
the Southern Baptists in the disaster response and Samaritan's Purse. I mean, basically, teams. I put it on a map the other day. We had teams from, basically the Mississippi this way, Georgia, Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just incredible that there are so many unsung heroes, right? People who are willing to drop the things that they're doing to go and serve other folks. And, I hope that people realize just how blessed they were, through all of that. We've got a new effort now, and we're calling it the Hope Coalition, to establish a long-term recovery group
Mm-hmm.
for Central Vermont. We have 18 different organizations that we're all working together to try to help residents of Central Vermont, with home repairs and household goods and other kinds of needs that they have post-flood. So we're super excited about that. It's a lot of work, but we have a really good team that we're putting together. And matter of fact, we got teams coming up to work on flood damaged homes and stuff this weekend. Got Autry coming up this next week, and many teams more to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And so, super excited about that effort. I'll put a little plug in. Our website is Hope Coalition, all one word, .net. And if you need help, there's a get help section there. Fill out the little questionnaire there, and our case management people will get a hold of you and figure out what you need and how we might be able to help you or refer you to another organization that can.
No, what are you guys going to be doing? Sheetrock, framing stuff. What are you going to be? What are you going to be doing?
So we have, I think three primary efforts in that. One is we have already about $500,000 worth of donated household goods, and we're working to get that out to people who need it. Everything from odor reduction, cleaning stuff, gloves, all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to get that out, clothing, all that, kind of stuff that people may need to replace after it's been flood damaged. The second effort is through case management to help people get referrals with organizations that might be able to help them. The state of Vermont has a number of programs. FEMA has some programs.
Yeah, and FEMA's leaving the 12th. We got to remind people that too, that if they have not filed for FEMA, even if they think they didn't, qualify, the 12th, FEMA's gone.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they have some very rigorous deadlines. So I would encourage people wholeheartedly to apply for benefits if they've been impacted at all. And if they've gotten a rejection letter from FEMA, the government likes to reject people the first time around.
right.
Man, apply, appeal that decision. The timelines for doing that stuff is getting super thin.
Yes.
And there's a number of different organizations that are around like ours that are helping people with that, appeals process. So need to do that. Referrals are going to be super important, as, a lot of different organizations have different kinds of programs and benefits that they're, trying to make available for people. And number three is the rebuilding effort. We realize that, in some cases, insurance isn't paying out, for even if you had flood insurance, in some cases they're not paying out. And so, that leaves homeowners behind. FEMA is helping, but, normally they don't cover everything either. And so there's
Yeah.
a lot of folks that just don't have the funds or ability to restore their places. And so we have a rebuilding effort. We're once again calling on, partners in state and out of state to gather together and raise funds to do a rebuilding effort, which will be massive.
What can we as a community do to help you?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Perfect.
So I'd appreciate it if anybody knows of, some grant writing opportunities, funding opportunities. That's the big one right now. These people who are helping doing case management, that gets to be a full-time job, and materials. Those are the big things. There's a lot of organizations I think that you can donate to. And a lot of the money goes into overhead, and very little of the money is going to go into overhead, for this. We're putting a lot of it right, boots to the ground. How do we, help people? We've already, taken on the overhead expenses with insurance and other kinds of things that would detract from that, so that the dollars that we are able to raise through fundraising and grant opportunities go right to helping people out. So that's where we want to be. We're also not, we're not going to provide financial assistance for folks. We're going to provide materials and labor for folks, right? So we, if you donate, you can be assured that the money that you give goes to actually helping somebody with their need. And doesn't get siphoned off someplace else.
This gives me goosebumps to hear this. Really.
Yeah.
Is there a goal, Dan, that you guys have for a certain amount of homes in a certain amount of time?
So, my goal has been for 100 homes in 100 days. And I've been called crazy about that. But, I think as many homes as we can get done, the better, right? And right now, our primary holdup isn't the labor component. I have lots of teams that, like Chris's and others, that are willing to come up. Chris is coming up from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Right.
I got another team that's coming up from South Carolina. People are willing to travel the distance to come. The Mennonites are interested in coming in. They do fantastic work. They're interested in coming. Team Rubicon wants to come. Our biggest holdup is really getting the funding to be able to afford the materials and the case management that we need to put that to the ground. So, praying that all that will come together. I know God's got a plan for it, and I'm trying to be patient in my impatience
Yeah.
to see that happen. But that's where we're at today. We're doing everything that we can do to push the needle on that.
What's the best way for people watching, listening right now that want to contact you, that want to donate materials or time or help with grant writing or case management or anything? What's the go-to?
Yeah, so we have that website that I gave you, hopecoalition.net. There is a place on there, a little form on there that people can fill out if they have, they want to donate something, they can donate. So I divided it up. It's really difficult to understand the website. There's a Get Help section where you go and sign up to get case management, to get help for whatever your issue is. There's a Give Help section where you can go and drop your name and whatnot and let us know what kind of donation that you would like to make. And there's a Go Help section. So if your service organization, church, whatever, business, says, hey, I want to join up and help out with that opportunity, there's a little form you can fill out on that. So super easy website to go to and populate it. And that is the very best way for us to keep track of, all the people and all the interest with what we're doing.
All right. I'm showing that. I'm showing this on our screen right now. HopeCoalition.net. Dan, we literally think that you and Josh and your team at Enough Ministries are rock stars. I don't know what else can we say. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what. Like I said, you can't say enough about enough. You just can't. And I appreciate you all so very much for many different reasons, and I'm very grateful that you're here.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. It's humbling to hear how lives have been impacted, how lives have changed, and we're in the life transformation business. We want to see people have better lives and see transformed lives, and whether that's an issue of addiction or homelessness or now impact from the flood, that's our heart's desire to see that kind of change. And so evidence is in the fruit, right? It's we want to see a lot of fruit. We want to see a lot of changed lives out there, and we're grateful to be able to come alongside people and just help in that effort.
Well, listen, we would love the opportunity to maybe check back with you and have you back on the air in another couple of weeks with some updates and some more information, if you're willing to do that, Dan.
I would love to do that. Let's make it, before the end of October, because my wife and I have been blessed. We are going to Israel in November.
Wow.
Nice.
And we're super excited about that trip. But we'll be gone most of that month. So, let's make it, before the end of the month.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
Awesome.
We love you, Dan.
Have a great day.
We love you guys too. Take care. God bless.
You too.
Dan Molen from Enough Ministries. Love talking with that guy.
Yes, me too. I love everything about them, and I'm not super religious. I'm still really on the fence. Don't know about all of that stuff. My faith has been really tested over the years, and but I adore them. I adore everything that they do, and it doesn't matter to them whether you're super spiritual or
not.
If you have a need, if you are someone who just wants a place to go and sit for a few minutes, they're there. They're like literally there.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky to have them. We're lucky to have him.
Yeah.
And in the direction that he gives.
Yeah.
So, speaking of updates, on the 26th at 9:45, JD's just learning this right now, we will be talking to Brian again about the Nichols haunted grounds.
Perfect.
Up in Berlin. So we'll do that follow-up with him on the 26th at 9:45, and he'll be able to kind of tell us what he's got going on and what he's been able to accomplish
Great.
in that time since we talked to him last. So that's I'm actually looking forward to seeing, and I'm going to go up and at least go to the lookout area that he was telling us about yesterday, and maybe go live and let you all hear the screams and stuff coming out of there.
Bunch of sickos.
Why not? And then I want to remind people that this week, on this coming Wednesday, is the first Wellness Wednesday in October. So Wellness Wednesdays in October are the 11th and the 25th They're always the second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So Wellness Wednesday at 23 Summer Street right here in Barrie. And if you would like to have Reiki, sound healing, or massage, you need to call and book those appointments.
Yeah.
Everything else they do is walk in.
Right.
But if you want an appointment for one of those, you need to call 802-479-4055. And those spots always fill up quick.
802-479-4055.
Yeah, and if you're somebody you've already done the massage, maybe try something else, and so that somebody else has a chance to get into the massage.
Sure.
So the same person isn't always booked for massage.
Right.
So that is coming out, and then we want to give a reminder that they also have. They have started the hub in Montpelier, and they are doing. You can sign up. You can receive 3 to 5 free counseling sessions. That does not make you a patient
Right.
of Washington County. You don't have to stay with them after. But if you are suffering from some sort of flood-related trauma or just stress, and you just need to talk about it, maybe have somebody help you out with everything that's going on with it, figure out your living situation, or the fact that you're all 5 packed into a 1-bedroom
How
apartment.
many times
now.
have we had people come
And-
to us about that?
Yes, a lot of times. So they are taking calls. You can call anytime, 802-229-0591, and just tell them that you're calling to talk about flood-related stress, and they will provide you with 3 to 5 free counseling sessions.
Fantastic.
And then if it's something you want to continue doing, then maybe you go through the process and you become one of their patients.
Okay.
But that's not required
All right.
for that.
It's great.
So
Listen, anything else that you have?
no.
All right. If you know Amy Bulio, Eileen O'Connor, Rosaline Boussier, Josh Dickinson over at Gusto's.
Who doesn't know Josh?
Betsy Dooley. If you know any of these people, make sure that you say happy birthday to
Yes,
them.
absolutely. Happy birthday. And Jeffrey Tupor Giles.
Yes. Oh, that's right. He is on the list. I see him right here. Anything else that we can think of?
No.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Question. The Wellness Wednesday. Heather's going to be there, right, for that?
I don't know, because the hub, the Barrie Up, I don't know if it's scheduled the same night as the Barrie Up again, because Washington County Mental Health is also over. They have a booth set up at the hub for the Barrie Up stuff right there
Okay.
on Main Street, and so I don't know. I can't answer that for sure.
They do such a great job, don't they, though?
They do.
Heather's been on in here on the air with us a bunch of times. She's going to be coming back on to talk about.
She'll be here really soon, actually.
Yeah, it's wonderful. When she comes in, we're going to talk more details about Wellness Wednesday over on Summer Street. God bless Washington County Mental Health for doing this for so many. 5,000 Vermonters a year on average is how many people they serve. And if everything's free when you go over there on Wellness Wednesday. You can get Reiki and massage and sound healing and acupuncture. You can get all that stuff. Have a cup of tea. Sit down. Maybe enjoy a treat or two, and I'm going to try to make a reservation to see if I can get a foot massage from Heather.
It's not ever going to happen.
I'll pay for it, Raylene.
It doesn't matter. You'd have to pay a lot of money.
I'm willing to pay for it.
A lot of money. I hope you have a packed wallet.
With a foot massage
There's no freaking way.
from Heather Slayton. It's going to happen. What? What?
No,
What'd you say?
it'll never happen.
You don't know this.
You'd have better chances getting one from Chris Massey.